welcome to a bit of a rough and ready quick video here on Eureka's October 2025 releases. Whole bunch of horror, and I'm just busy with editing projects at the minute, so I haven't had a chance to make proper videos about these. Have done pretty much a feature-length video reacting to Martyrs for the first time, but not so much a full review. That will be coming. But I want to talk a little bit about some of these that came out in October. We have The Ambulance with Eric Roberts, James Earl Jones, Red Buttons. This is a blast. I love this film so much. Great transfer. Came out in 1990. It feels like a 90s movie to me, and yet everything about it looks and sounds like an 80s movie. You got the hairstyle, you got the music, and a really fun plot about this ambulance going around New York City picking up diabetics, and Eric Roberts gets wrapped into all of it. He's a comic book artist, and his boss is Stan Lee, who also appears in the film. So there's quite a lot of extras on here, including stuff from the director, Larry Cohen. Haven't really fully dived into those yet, but I love this, and I would say this, for me, unironically, has maybe the greatest death scene in the history of motion pictures. Not to overdo it or anything. Next we have a film from the 60s, I believe. It was in 1966, from Jess Franco, The Diabolical Dr. Z. I believe the original title is Miss Muerte, like Lady Death. That might be on the back as well, actually. Let's see if it says, we focus here. Yes, or Miss Muerte, yes. So I worked on this one on the extras. I edited the video essay and the interview on this one. The video essay was a lot of fun, quite challenging because I couldn't use really any footage from the films that were talked about, but it was really interesting to dive through some of the imagery, and it really got me interested into actually just watching more kind of gothic European horror in general. But I did really enjoy this film. It was really fun. My first Jess Franco film. My friend Sean Zernizrak is a huge kind of Jess Franco enthusiast, which also ties into the old Redemption Films collection. This is a really fun one. I really enjoyed it. Great black and white cinematography as well, and I loved the kind of it's like a female heavy film. Like the villain is a woman, in a sense. Lady Miss Muerte is a more fitting title than The Diabolical Dr. Z, but it's still a pretty fun title. Martyrs, I'm still digesting it. I'm really still digesting this one, but I think I loved it. I don't know. I'm really excited to get the time to sit down and watch all the extras fully, check out the feature length behind the scenes, but certainly probably the most graphic film I've seen. And it's not my type of thing, but I didn't feel like it was for nothing, like most extreme cinema I have seen. There was a real point to it, and I was blown away by the ending and where the story ended up going. It's a very intense, very dark, violent, but gripping. My brain was lingering over the M word there, but I won't say the M word. But it does feel masterful, I'll say that. And a lot of people are getting a bit kind of funny about the Masters of Cinema label and what should fit in it or not, which leads me to the next one, which is The Island by Po Chi Lung. This was super fun. I really enjoyed this. So it's about a group of school kids. Well, they're kind of like teenagers, almost into their 20s, and they go on a little excursion to an island with their teacher, John Shum. And there are three brothers on the island who are very dangerous indeed. Some great cinematography in this, some really arresting images, I thought, and a fun score. The score feels very reminiscent of the Terminator score, which came out a year before this in 1984. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a heavy influence or just let's just copy the score from the Terminator. Not quite, but it has the same tonality. And but it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. People are a bit iffy about this being in the MOC range. I thought it was a ton of fun, and I will be doing a review of this one because I've watched all the extras. Really enjoyed them. There's a excuse me. There's a great kind of talk with the director from a couple of years ago, and a nice piece from Tony Raines, which is always nice to see. It was a fun film. The third act is really gripping and fun, and like, you know, like survival horror stuff. It's really good. Now, the other release from October I haven't even begun to dive into is Furious Swords and Fantastic Warriors, the heroic cinema of Chang-Chia. 10 films, I believe, across a number of discs. Yeah, 5 discs. Yeah, man, this is going to be a treat to go through. I have finished watching the past 3 Chang-Chia sets they put out, and I'm actually preparing a kind of a huge video on those 8 films. So to have another 10 in kind of in the bank, so to speak, is really fun for me because I'm really enjoying Chang-Chia's films. So I'm very keen to dive into more of them. I just want to wrap up my video on the past 3 Chang-Chia sets, which were Horrible History, The Magnificent Chang-Chia, and then the 2 Venom Mob movies, The Daredevils and Ode to Gallantry. So quite a stacked October from Eureka, and yeah, I plan to do follow-up videos on all of these. It's just I'm busy editing some other stuff for Eureka, so I want to put something up for Halloween. Hope you've all been enjoying the spooky season and watching some good horror films. I haven't really. I wanted to. I guess Martyrs was kind of the big one for me. So, and I did just spend the last weekend in the Prince Charles Cinema watching the entirety of Twin Peaks: The Return over 19 hours straight. And there's some pretty horrifying stuff in that. So I guess I got some horror in for the month, and I did watch, of course, Martyrs, The Island, The Ambulance. Obviously watched this a couple of months ago when I did the edited the extras. But yeah, there you go. That's October's slate, quite a stacked one. There's some fun ones coming next month, November, actually, that I worked on as well. So there's some really good stuff coming out, obviously. Not to sound like a shill, but I guess I am at this point. But I would highly recommend. The Ambulance was so much fun. I really loved The Ambulance. I'd never heard of it before. Apparently, it never even had a UK release before in the cinema until like 10 years ago. It's crazy. But man, this Martyrs, despite all of my worries about it, ended up being a really special film. Yeah, so anyway, a nice mix, I thought. Kind of a 90s kind of thriller, and then you got like a gothic European horror from the 60s, French 2000s, was it French New Extremity they call it? Then a Hong Kong survival horror from the 80s. Pretty nice little kind of variation there, especially for a label that gets a reputation of only putting out kung fu movies. Although I guess this is it's a pretty massive kung fu set there at the end. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in a more proper, well put together, I hope, video.